Welcome to the presentation on asymptotic notations. In this presentation, we will understand how to analyze algorithms clearly using examples. Algorithm analysis. It is the process of studying how efficiently an algorithm works. We mainly analyze three things. 1. How much time the algorithm takes to solve a problem. 2. How much space or memory an algorithm takes. 3. How much power it takes to complete a problem. Among these, time complexity is the most important factor. Frequency count method. The frequency count method is used to calculate the exact number of operations performed by an algorithm. Here, we count how many times each statement executes. This method helps us derive the time complexity mathematically. Consider a procedure named sum, which calculates the sum of array elements. First, the variable s is initialized to 0. This statement executes only once. Next, the for loop runs from I equals 0 to I less than n. The loop condition is checked n plus 1 times. Inside the loop, the statement s equals s plus a of I executes n times. Finally, the return statement executes once. Initialization takes one step. The loop condition takes n plus 1 steps. The loop body takes n steps. The return statement takes one step. So the total time function f of n equals to 2n plus 3. Since n is the highest degree term here, we ignore constants and lower terms. Therefore, time complexity is big O of n. Introduction to asymptotic notations. Asymptotic notations are mathematical tools used to express the time and space complexity of algorithms as the input size becomes very large. Why asymptotic notations? They allow us to compare algorithms independent of hardware, language, or machine constraints. These notations help us understand scalability and focus on the dominant terms of complexity rather than exact execution times. Asymptotic notations allow us to describe how algorithm performance scales without counting every operation. They simplify performance expression using growth rates. Types of asymptotic notations. Big O notation represents the upper bound of an algorithm's running time. It indicates the maximum time required by an algorithm and denotes the worst-case scenario. Big O notation can be defined as follows. If f of n is less than or equal to c into g of n for all n greater than or equal to n naught, c greater than 0 and n naught is greater than or equal to 1, then f of n is equal to big O of g of n. This means the algorithm will not take more than g of n up to constant factors. The graphical representation of big O can be given as below. This graph shows the maximum speed at which the algorithm can grow. After a certain input size, the actual running time curve stays below the upper bound curve. This means big O gives an upper limit on the algorithm's running time. Now let us understand big O notation with an example. Consider the function f of n is equal to 3n plus 2 and g of n is equal to n. As the input size n increases, the term 3n grows faster than the constant 2. In big O notation, we ignore constants and lower-order terms. So, only n remains. Therefore, the time complexity of 3n plus 2 is big O of n, which represents linear time complexity. Omega notation represents lower bound of running time. It indicates the minimum time required by an algorithm and denotes the best-case scenario. Omega notation can be defined as follows. If f of n is greater than or equal to c into g of n for all n greater than or equal to n naught, c greater than 0, n naught is greater than or equal to 1, then f of n is equal to big omega of g of n. It guarantees the algorithm takes at least g of n. The graphical representation of omega notation can be given as below. This graph shows the minimum speed at which the algorithm grows. After a point, the actual running time always stays above the lower bound curve. So omega gives a guaranteed minimum running time. Now let us understand omega notation using an example. Consider the function f of n equals to 20n square plus 2n plus 5 and g of n equal to n. As the input size increases, the term n square grows much faster than the other terms. In omega notation, we focus on the minimum or best case growth. Since n square is the dominant term, the best case time complexity is omega of n square. Theta notation represents average bound of running time. It indicates the average time required by an algorithm and denotes the average case scenario. Theta notation can be defined as follows. If C1 into g of n is less than or equal to f of n less than or equal to g of n for all n greater than or equal to n naught, C1 greater than 0, C2 greater than 0, n naught is greater than or equal to 1, then f of n is equal to theta of g of n. This means the algorithm grows exactly like g of n up to constant factors. The graphical representation of theta notation can be given as below. This graph shows the exact growth of the algorithm. The actual curve stays between the upper and lower bounds. This means the algorithm grows at the same rate as the bounding function. Theta represents the tight or average bound. Now let us understand theta notation using an example. Consider the function f of n equals to 2 power n plus n square and g of n equal to 2 power n. As the input size increases, the term 2 power n grows faster than the other term. Theta notation represents the average case time complexity by giving both upper and lower bounds. Since 2 power n is the higher order term here, the time complexity is theta of n is 2 power n. Now let us talk about the below problem on linear search. Given an array of n integers and a key x, determine whether x is present. If found, return its index, otherwise, return -1. Let n be the number of elements in the given list. First, let us understand the lower bound, also called the best case. In the best case, the element to be searched is found at the first position of the list. Since only one comparison is required, the time taken is constant. Therefore, the lower bound of linear search is omega of 1. Next, we look at the upper bound, also known as the worst case. In the worst case, the element is present at the last position, or it is not present at all. In such a situation, the algorithm must compare the element with all n elements in the list. Hence, the number of comparisons is n. So, the upper bound of linear search is big O of n. Now, let us understand the theta bound, which represents the average case. On average, the element is found after checking about n by 2 elements. This means the time required increases linearly with the input size. Therefore, the theta bound of linear search is theta of n. Thank you.